Hi, welcome back. Lesson 12. Find your textbook page. We are going to read thousands numerals. We are going to stop at the comma and then continue the numeral. Ready? Numeral A. We'll read the thousands first. Ready? 132,000. Let's read the whole thing. 132,400. B. 6,000. Let's read the whole numeral. 6,384. C. The thousands. 12,000. Now let's read the whole numeral. 12,056. Numeral D. 490,000. Let's read the whole numeral. 490,003. E. 9,000. Let's read the whole numeral. 9,103. Part 2. For some of these problems, you have to borrow. For others, you do not. Use your lined paper, copy all the problems down in Part 2, and work them. You can use a calculator to check your work. That's what the little calculator is for on the paper. However, we are going to do A and B together, and you guys are going to do C and D. If only I could find my marker. Leo, any idea? Oh, sorry. All right, our first problem up here. I can take 3 from 4, so I do not have to borrow because it's smaller down here. So 4 minus 3 is 1. However, in my next column, my tens column, I cannot take 9 from 7, so I'm going to have to borrow. 6 minus 1 is 5. Bring my 1 down here. Now I have 17 minus 9. 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. 5 minus 2 is 3. So did you see here? I did not have to borrow in this column, but I did have to in my tens column. So sometimes problems are like that. You really just have to be really adamant about looking at the bottom number and the top number in the same column to see if you actually have to borrow. Problem B. There's a 7 on the bottom. Do I have to borrow? Yes. So I'm going to go over here, cross out my 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. Now I have 13 minus 7. 13 minus 7, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Now I have 2 down here and a 1 up here. I don't have a 2 anymore. So now I have to borrow again. 7 minus 1 is 6. I'm going to bring my 1 over here. So now I have 11 minus 2. 11, 10, 9. So 9, and then a 6 minus 1 is 5. 596. In this problem, I had to borrow more than once, so 2 times, because I had to use this 2 to help me solve this problem. So then I had to get more for the 2. All right, find part 3. You can follow along as I read. I'll read what it says in the box. You can figure out the number of squares in a rectangle by adding the column number again and again. Or you can do it the fast way by multiplying. There are 10 squares in each column. There are 4 columns. For the addition problem, you add 10 4 times. So it would be 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10. The answer is 40 squares. For multiplication, you start with the number of squares in a column and multiply by the number of squares in the rows. So there are 4 columns and 10 rows. So we would multiply 10 times 4. The answer is 40. When you write the answers to the problems that deal with squares, write the name and the answer. You can write squares or you can write the abbreviation SQ, period. All right, let's go ahead and find the rectangles on the next page. All right, so these are just like problems that we have solved before, previously. But instead of them giving us the numbers, we have to find them out ourselves. We have to make the multiplication problems. All right, so I'm going to count my number of boxes going up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so going up, I have 10 times. Now let's count going over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 10 times 5. On my multiplication chart, 10 times 5 equals 50. 50 what? 50 square units, or 50 squares. I want you guys to go ahead and try B and C on your own. Those are actually pretty easy, so go ahead and try those. Part 4. Some of these equal whole numbers, some of them do not. Okay? Looking at the problems, I can tell which ones are going to equal whole numbers because they have the units completely filled in. The ones that do not have the units completely filled in are not going to equal whole numbers. For example, A is not going to equal a whole number. C is not going to equal a whole number, and neither will F. I believe that's an F. Yes, F. The rest of them should equal whole numbers. I want you guys to go ahead and find the fraction for these, A through F, and then for the ones that you can get the whole number for, please get the whole number. And it will you'll definitely have some circles on there. Make sure to circle the fractions that have more than one unit. So circle it if the bigger number is on top. The rest in your book is independent work. We're going to jump over to the workbook page. All right, so you guys should have at the top that same box already completed. If you would like, you can just go ahead and transfer it down there. Sorry. All right, and then you have these squares again, okay? So I helped you yesterday work one that goes across horizontal. Now we're going to do one that goes vertical. So this one is for you guys to complete, and this one we will complete together. Remember, our total is down here for vertical problems, and our total is here for the horizontal ones. All right. I already wrote it down for us. Okay, so I'm going to go to my first column. I do not have a small number because it would be small number, big number, small number, big number, small number, big number. So I'm missing my small number here. I have to go backwards and subtract. 261 minus 23. And because I have the number on the bottom, which is bigger, I'm going to have to borrow. So 3, can't do it. 6 minus 1 is 5. So now I have 11 minus 3, 11, 10, 9, 8. 8 on this side. 5 minus 2, 5, 4, 3. And I'm just going to bring that 2 down. 238 is my other small number. So now I know that 238 plus 23 is 261. All right, same thing here. I'm missing a small number, so I'm going to have to work backwards and subtract. First problem, or next problem, 278 minus 106. Do I have to borrow here? No, because this number is smaller than this number. All right, 8 minus 6 is 2. 7 minus 0 is 7. 2 minus 1 is 1. 172. So in my chart, I have 172 plus 106 is 278. And then our last one over here, I'm going to be adding because I need my total, okay? So I'm going to say 410 plus 129. 9 plus 0 is 9. 1 plus 2 is 3, and 4 plus 1 is 5, okay? So 539 goes here. I want you to go ahead and do the same thing for part A for you there. I try to give you guys the easier problem with the smaller numbers. But when you are finished, please go ahead, complete the independent work and submit to your teacher when you're done.